The Crew 2 provided us with years of content updates, and today is actually the anniversary. It has been 12 months since the final update came to the game. But see, the Crew 2 is special because it decided at the end of its life to put like a loop on its gameplay. So pretty much everything they added would come back in a fresh way, and I wanted to really explore what that actually means after a year. You see that? It's already broken. No, hold on. I did about 5 minutes of Googling. There is a fix, but yes, this is broken. To be clear, we're on the PS5. To fix it, get into the options, which you can do so before you jump into the game, and turn off toggle recommendation. You're welcome. You are welcomed by this screen when you enter the game, and this is a pretty familiar place to just skip over. Hell, if you've only played the Crew Motorfest, this will look incredibly familiar with pretty much the same layout and style. So, big props straight away, I've got to say, is the first tab is what to play community races. If you press this, you jump straight to the community tab, and what you've got here, my friends, is some amazing creations by the community, albeit incredibly limited, because we're not talking like a Forza level creator here. If we had something like that, then I would give even bigger props. That's something that Forza Horizon, I think, really needs to learn, is that the community generally makes better stuff and fresher stuff and more creative stuff than the developers themselves. Anyway, how awesome is it coming back to a home like this? I have to turn the TV off every time. Turn the TV off, for God's sake. This is absolutely something I miss in the Crew Motorfest. Even just being able to place two of your cars side by side and be like, oh yeah, these look incredibly, very, very familiar. Who would have thought that these have the same designer? I know, because I just put, oh, with my big head. Okay, what do you actually do in the Crew 2? Now the game is finito, finished, and I actually didn't do everything the first time around. So alongside that, you've got the activities. This is the main campaign and also any additions that they made. Now, I never actually completed everything because there's a hell of a lot in this game. Even just the hobby system, I have been dreaming of trying to finish this Explorer one. I would say I'm close, but I'm just genuinely not. I really want the HX concept home. I don't have it. Can you import this? I might come back to the Crew 2. See, reward cars are incredibly important, but the fact of the matter is, I want to decide when I want to access these vehicles. And that's right now. I actually want to access it, so I should probably get on this. Maybe I'll do a few streams or two, hit the bell notification and press all notifications and let you know when I'm streaming. And maybe we can get it together. Moving on. Oh my God, I didn't get the RX-7. What the hell is wrong with me? I got the collector though. Is that just like collecting cars? It is. It's just collecting cars. Well, no wonder. And that's not it, friends. We've got all of these Motorflix events. Again, worth knowing that I actually experienced a lot of these, not in full, but in part over on the PC early access build that I generally get access to. So that's why my percentiles are unacceptable for the most part. But one thing I didn't actually ever do is any of these taxi jobs. It's an incredibly odd system they added to the game, but one thing I love about this game is the variety of gameplay. You can essentially jump in and do anything. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Let's do the drivers wanted and jump into a taxi job. It is, I think a lot of people agree, one of the worst potential things they added. What was that? But if you think about it in terms of exploration, this is a really great system to kind of encourage. It's a lot of all the taxis and you managed to pick out a Lamborghini is your lucky day. Jesus. So in case you don't remember, this is actually one of the two games that they are going to save. They're going to save the Crew 2 and the Crew Motorfest. I mean, saving one makes sense to save the other because, in case you don't know, Motorfest was technically built on this engine. So anything they do for Motorfest, well, they could probably do it backwards as well for the other game. Oops. The Crew 1 was a lot different, and you know that's part of their excuse as to why they didn't do it, but the community's gonna do it, so hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I gotta say, the Motorfest handling is by far better jumping back into this game. What the hell just flash bombed? Oh my God, the Exhibit song playing in the background. The music on the early Crew games, so... I mean, to be fair, I haven't heard the Motorfest soundtrack, to be fair. Like, I put it on the streamer mode, which I'm incredibly grateful for, by the way. But there you go. There's a taxi delivery job. Can you believe it? I can really see why people just didn't, I mean, I can see why I didn't bother to read any of these. I don't quite get the objective there, my friend. Now, the stories was something really cool as well. So this was, especially towards the end, properly interesting, and it was a way that you got a special car leading into Motorfest. There you go, you got Malu's Memoirs if you jump into here. This is actually how you got this special vehicle, which told us early about a little bit of a story behind Motorfest. I mean, it didn't carry on at all in Motorfest, which I think was a missed opportunity. At least it didn't noticeably do that, but something that this game did a little bit better, a hell of a lot better, worlds better, is actually having characters in the world. Even though I think they are worse than the Crew 1, it definitely gave it a little bit more flavor, you know? A little bit more intrigue. I want to know about these people a little bit more. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. The reason I haven't done all the races is because, well, a lot of this stuff is plastered in. I was going to say I definitely beat most, like pretty much all of the main campaign races, but yeah, they've added in other stuff into that. Would make sense. Gotcha. Let's look through some of my cars while I pick one for this event, because I just don't remember what I've got. I mean, most of these ended up in Motorfest anyway, but what hypercars were the best in this game? Oh, yeah, okay. No, I definitely remember. Latrell's hypercar.
This race isn't some quarter-mile drag deal.
I
It's
know.
a long and tricky city-to-city race against some of the meanest drivers in the country. It doesn't count for the list, and it can get rough out there. The stakes are high, but so are the rewards. Winner takes home a Koenigsegg Regera. That's one hell of an expensive car. But the guy organizing the race can afford to put it up and is crazy enough to do it. Which makes me wonder, you normally hit the legal circuit.
No, I don't.
Strut your stuff here in an outlaw race.
No, I don't.
Here's the thing. You know Latrell Jordan, right? Nice guy, hangs out at the spot. No? Anyway, he's always been there for us. Big stuff like arranging races. Little stuff like showing me where I could get parts a little cheaper. We just want to give back to him like he's given to us. So we want to win this race, modify the car for him, and I'm talking too much. Sorry.
It's a crazy nice gesture. But that and $3 will get you a cup of coffee, and I'm not gonna make it easy on you.
What?
Win the race, and then we'll see.
Oh, okay. Anyway, the little story, I know, the hero's voice is corny as hell, but just, again, the idea, there's at least a little thing there. The idea is that we're racing for the sake of Latrell. I want to say Rydell. I'm playing too much Need for Speed. But a little bit of a story behind it.
Latrell's counting on us, even if he doesn't know it.
Okay, Hero, for the first time ever, normal voice there. And of course, the incredibly long races. That's why I'm glad at least the Crew 2 is being saved, like officially being saved. It's clearly going to take a lot of their man and woman power to actually get this working to the point where we might actually end up with smaller updates in Motorfest for a while, which I'm kind of fine with. I mean, if it means that ultimately we can play these games until the end of the time, well, I want it.
Vegas to LA road trip? People will think we're trying to get out of town.
I mean, yeah, that's still a thing. Like, I love conversations during races and events and things like that. I forgot the wheels just don't move. Oh, man, that's stiff as hell. But overall, as I say, I'm incredibly glad that I can just jump back into this game whenever and experience it whenever I want. Hell, when the new update comes out allowing us to play this game offline, maybe I'll just start from scratch and see what that experience is like. They're probably going to have to do some tweaks and stuff there to how it really brings you into the game. Maybe they already have made those changes, but it's not something I've experienced since the game essentially came out. So I want to do it. I definitely have to be fair again. This is so much less detailed. It's just so flat in a lot of places, especially when you come to these highways. By comparison to Motorfest, that is. But granted, honestly, a lot of America is like that. It's just road and not much else. So maybe I should, you know, visit the places before I describe them. But when you get to the cities, there's a lot of detail in the character of them, the building types. But I don't want to make it seem like I'm just dunking on Motorfest, because I enjoy Motorfest. I think as a polished experience is definitely the, you know, they really did make a different type of game out of it. And that's, well, pretty cool, actually. Making it to LA. Oh, it'd be cool if they came back to the US at some point and just did crazy amounts of traffic in LA and made it a real experience. The real American Dream experience simulator. There's the finish. Nice long race. Nice 9-minute race. That's so sick. From Vegas to LA in 9 minutes. I am in a Bugatti, to be fair. Move it! Astra, Vauxhall, Zafira. Same thing. And there we go. We fix up the car for Rydell and adapt it so that he can actually make use of it, because the man's in a wheelchair. I always was confused how is this man driving?
Now, let's see if Latrell likes it.
He bare damn liked the car, just spent 9 minutes racing. And then back straight into the free roam in a very empty LA. Now, just like Forza Horizon, I have a little bit of a gripe of like, what the hell is this map? There's just too much. There's too much going on, all right? When I'm done with it, maybe demark it by default or something. It just so much. Look at LA. Making full use of the map. That's a good thing. I just want to clarify. That's a good thing. However, Jesus, where the hell do I go? What it just kind of makes the map like, I don't fucking know. So let's cover our bases. We have done the campaign. We've shown the stories, the hobbies. Of course, we've quickly shown the Motorflix system. I showed you like the least interesting one, but I showed you the Motorflix system, which kind of brings me to my main point. Motorflix was the idea that kind of stuck with The Crew 2, and it worked really well because you just got these crazy experiences within the game that just went wild. And I think it's pretty obvious to a lot of us that that's what Motorfest has become. This is the early version of the Motorfest, right? You're getting these different experiences. Hell, we've got Forsberg. We've got police chases. I mean, they're completely different, but we've got more motorsports. They try and give you these bite-sized experiences that completely change the gameplay, especially the Mad one, which was the final couple of updates, I think. We've got Mad Season 1 and Mad Season 2. Yeah, like, they just made it a stunt game. But see, then we're just kind of missing a lot of the other area of the game because of that in the new one, if that makes sense. Like, we have the story campaign, we have the live extreme, which were the kind of big finale events. We have the hobbies, the stories, and Motorflix. And of course, we still had the summit. So I'm a little bit wary to say that Motorfest was slimmed down in the amount of content because they've already added a hell of a lot to that game and we're just getting started, right? And all the cars from this game came across. But I'm a gameplay man and I like these walkable areas and I like all the little different experiences that you can get that seem maybe a little bit more broad in this game. Taxi, stunts. Anyway, just to show you, the summit is actually probably the most interesting cycle part of the game and what likely we're going to see with Horizon going forward and things like that. You've got, well, a completely looping summit, and ultimately it's going to be quite easy. I remember back in the day, about 1 million was where you would be sitting if you wanted to get platinum. You'd have to be just over 1 million, 1,000,001. We got 13 hours left and there's 700. So I think we can just see how many people have participated. To be fair, on PlayStation, we've got 54,000 people participating. That's still quite a lot, to be fair. And I bet on like Xbox and stuff, it's a hell of a lot less. So you could probably just do one race and actually have a chance of winning the prize. So this is actually a good way to come back and actually win some pretty interesting prizes, some pretty cool prizes. Again, you can import cars from this game to Motorfest, so there's like a link between the two, so that's pretty cool. That will be severed, I imagine, once the games like go offline, but again, The Crew 2 would do that and then Motorfest. So you're fine for a while, you know. So you got the BMW M8 Performance Edition, you've got some yellow tires, you've got the Baby Oldtimer Edition. Yep. I think it would be cool if there was a link between the two games that told you, like, okay, to get this car, you need to go to this in this game, and it kind of would point to which event is currently running and how you can get it, or when you can get it. It's like a calendar, because of course, if this game's damn just looping itself, then maybe just tell us what it's going to do in the other game so we have a chance to go back and get the other car, because jumping between the two games is actually not that bad. It definitely doesn't look as good on PlayStation because it is a PS4 game. But I'm playing and I would jump back to this game and unlock some special cars. Can you import? I need to know about that Hummer. I genuinely want to know about that Hummer. Have I got the Hummer already? Can you just buy it in Motorfest? I actually need to know. Yes, I'm actually going to look. One of the things I do want to point out is a lot of people will complain about, you know, having to grind up for a car like this, like I'm actually looking to do right now. But how is that any different to the weekly drops in like Forza or the Summit or whatever, when you could just never get them again? Which one would you prefer? You know, the argument usually is, oh, if we lock things away, not that many people will get to experience it. How is this better? There you go. Straight back into Motorfest. It looks so... It's very similar. Okay, where's the Hummer? I genuinely need to know. Okay, here's Hummer. There it is. Oh, I can just buy it. I don't want it now. Anyway, there you go. A little go back to the Crew 2, and I end up Motorfest, and then I realized that I just don't need to play to get the car. I've got infinite money. I don't know. It does seem like a simplification by comparison, but that's not even the point of the video, but it kind of ended up being that. I get that the whole idea is that you could just do whatever you want to do, and then you can unlock, but sometimes I just want to be told, do this to get this, and I'd be like, I will do it at my own pace. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully you enjoyed, and does this make you want to go back to the Crew 2 for a little bit? At least for today. You know what I mean? I thought I had an objective that I was going to go back and do in the Crew 2, but it's now kind of pointless. Anyway, check out the video here, by the way. That's a good one.